Alrighty legends, just thought I would give you a few tips regarding this. So I've just plugged it in, power's on. Good idea just to obviously understand it takes about 2 minutes to boot. So keep that in mind if you're in a rush, just to plug it in before you need it. Battery lasts a pretty long time, so don't stress. Main things you want to do is, if it's been switched on for some time though, is check out in the field that you've actually got a bag file with a good chunk of data. I have seen a couple of glitches and without the direct link to a tablet, which you'll get soon. Obviously you don't want to get back to the office and realise your data's screwed. Anyway, I plugged it in, got the green light on. Now, also, if you look at this sensor, it's like a little dome, right? This spot in the middle is a dead zone. Okay, so it's roughly 60-degree up angle and 10-degree down, something like that. Anyway, think of a cone in the middle that is blank. So yes, you can use it as a torch, but you just realize that half your data is just straight down, which is not necessarily ideal. It also doesn't have a perfect leveling sensor. So you do need to, or I'd recommend starting it at roughly level. So I'm going to click that on. I've got my purple light on. And it's also good just to keep it stationary for a little while, just a few seconds, to kind of initialize. And then once that's good, normally what I do is put it on a bit of an angle and then just kind of pan around a little bit. And I'll show you the point cloud kind of live appearing on the other side of this video. Now that's kind of done, we're pretty good. So scanning, you got to kind of think of SLAM needs to know where it is based on its surrounding data. Yes, it has a bit of IMU distortion, but it's good if you can kind of see over fences or obstructions at the same time as seeing behind them. Like if you imagine you're going through a doorway, you want to see both through that door and behind you. So you might end up standing kind of sideways and understanding it's shooting that way and a little bit forward and backwards, right? So it's also good to just kind of wave it around as you're walking, and that'll help infill rather than just pointing it like a torch. I've got no idea if I'm in or out of frame here, but yeah, you can wave it around, do your thing. Like I've got a curb here. Again, no idea if I'm in frame, but you will see. Just kind of wave it around. It's not a big deal. Now this thing's got pretty bad beam divergence. It's an artifact of the sensor. Beam divergence basically means the laser light is getting wider the further away it is. You know, it's just the angular propagation. Think of shining a torch, further away it is, the bigger the spot. Off of a flat target makes no real difference. When you start hitting edges, whereabouts is that spot really hitting? So understanding that, I've had to add in code to do a range attribute on all these points because they're not natively coded with a distance, which is kind of sucky. I'll just stop that scan. Can do a range filter after the fact. It does mean that if you're after the most accurate data, just to keep that in mind and overfill your information, right? It's just the nature of the beast. But you can smooth and average data as well, but in understanding that's great for flat and flowy areas, but not for sharp edges, because you'll just get scatter around either side. I'm just going to start another scan. Click it on. Wait for that initialize. And again, I'll just kind of wave left and right. And I'll show you a bit of a torture test here. So I've waved left to right a little bit. And now, you know, everybody's like, oh, how fast can you go? Well, let's give it a test. You can laugh. Anyway, and we'll see how well that works.